Hey, what's up, traders? Happy Friday. Gates Adams here, the Forge Trader, with another daily update for you guys. So, if you saw yesterday's video, I think that that's going to be pertinent to what I talk about today. So, just do a very brief recap. So, yesterday, I went on tilt. I got lucky. I ended up the day up 6,500 bucks, about 650 bucks across 10 PAs. I considered that a fail. I was not beating myself up because I don't think that that's a productive way to work through some of this stuff. But I really did want to identify the actions and the things that I need to change in order to not continue to have days like this. Because while I got lucky yesterday, that's the same type of behavior that's going to blow accounts. And the fact is that my last trade of the day really was an all or nothing. It was like, I'm either going to win this trade, it's going to go my direction, or I'm going to blow all 10 accounts, which, aside from all of the money that I had accumulated on those accounts and earned up to that point, was still another. Well, it was actually over $1,000 in activation fees that would of course just been lost, right? So I spent the recap really trying to identify what it is that I needed to do, and at least just acknowledging the fact that this type of behavior was not serving me. I've gone down this road. Unfortunately, I don't even want to speculate into how many times I've done this same thing. In fact, many times I've gotten lucky, and a lot of that luck has contributed to a lot of the payouts that I've gotten already. So what's the point of introspection if you don't change your actions, if you don't change your behaviors, or if you at least don't identify areas where you can make some adjustments? So basically, what I got to is that skill wise, in terms of strategy and entry, I'm a better trader than I've ever been. That doesn't seem to be my biggest struggle. Of course, my biggest struggle is taking a loss, right? Um, and I hate the fact that I had the opportunity to test out my theory, or the change that I wanted to make today, but it was probably a good thing that I did. Um, so what I decided is that no matter what, come hell or high water, for the next at least week, so today plus all of next week, I will take no more than 2 trades a day, right? And this only applies to PAs. Evals are still the Wild West for me, and I'll come back to that in a second. But I would only take 2 trades a day. Win or lose doesn't matter. In fact, in most cases, when I have a winning trade on trade one, I'm not going to take a second trade. Usually that means that I got the move of the day that I was looking for, and I'm all good to go, right? But if I lose a trade, I get one more stab at it, right? And so that's precisely what happened today. I saw a move. In fact, I'm still wondering if it's going to go. My idea was that on NQ, as I was expecting, a reach towards the high of the previous day high, yesterday's high. It didn't quite get there. It went in my direction, and then it came back, and and it took me out, took my stop out, and I had a small loss. Right. I continued to watch the charts, knowing that I only had one more bullet in the chamber, so to speak. And so I saw another entry with that same intent. So we swept some liquidity. It looked like we were shifting back up. I took the trade again. I did fortunately have an opportunity to trail my stops, and it came back and took out my trailed stops, which was in profit, just not enough to cover the original loss. So at the end of the day, I was down about 65 bucks per account. Now, you'll also notice I have 15 accounts. I did pass 5 more evaluations yesterday, so I now have 15 PAs going for that final push to 20. But I got to tell you, even looking at all that red, I am so much more pleased with today than I was yesterday. Yesterday, I made 6,500 bucks. Today, I lost about $1,000, a little under $1,000 on the day. Total loss. And to say that I'm more ecstatic about how I operated today would be an understatement, because this is what I've been trying to make a step towards. It's not that I haven't looked at this problem before. It's not that I haven't identified really where the issue is, but I really think that it's because of these daily interactions that I do here on social media and recapping the day, that it really forced me to say, okay, great, Gates, you figured out the problem. What are you going to do about it? And I think, as ridiculous as it sounds, that's kind of been the missing piece. I haven't really identified the action that I wanted to take to pull myself out of that bad habit. And so I don't know if this is the ultimate solution for me, but for now, the action that I am taking, and again, this just means that I'm moving forward, is that I'm only going to take 2 trades a day. I only took 2 today. I will only take 2 a day max all of next week, and then I will reevaluate based on those results. And I think this does 2 things. Number one, it does limit my exposure, which I think is critically important. Number two is I'm hopeful that this will help me stay out of the absolute garbage trades. Hitting the reverse button is a new trade, so that means that I have taken my second trade and I'm and I'm out. Right. Um, this also helps me spend a little bit more time confirming my setups, which is just something I know I'm a little hasty. I get it. I know I'm hasty. I want that better risk to reward, all of these things. Now, what do I expect to come out of this interaction of doing 2 trades a day? I actually expect my results to get worse for a little bit before they get better. And I think that's the reason is I've had plenty of those days where I did finally catch the move I was looking for and it was on the third, fourth, or fifth trade, right? I think that that does show the skill level of identifying the moves, but not so much the skill level in when to get into them. And I'm hopeful that this exercise will help me to develop that skill so that I get better at that and I'm more patient and I'm really waiting for the opportunity to kind of smack me in the face, so to speak. The other thing I want to do is because it's Friday, I want to recap the entire week. And I misspoke about something yesterday. I said I was up about 17 grand on the week. That is not true. And the reason that that's not true, it was not an intentional thing. But I went ahead and put together a spreadsheet of all of my basically P&Ls per account each day. So you can see I've got the 15 that I have on here. But the big thing was I was already 6,200 bucks up from last week. So I was including that, not thinking the fact that that was not part of this same week. So anyway, last week I was up 6,200 bucks. That was 2 days of trading across 5 accounts. This week I'm still up a little over 10 grand after today, based on my total profitability all week long across all of my PAs. Now, obviously, there's a lot of zeros in here. That just meant that those did not exist as PAs prior to that day. So this was the first day that I traded. Tuesday, right there's the first day that I traded my second round of 5, and then today was the first day I traded the third round of 5, bringing me up to those total of 15. I'm still pretty close to payout threshold on these first 5 accounts, just a hair under. I'm not worried about that. Definitely nowhere near payout threshold on the other 10. But again, right now it's about taking the actions that I need to take that will develop that long-term mindset, that long-term success trajectory. So I'll continue to do this on Fridays, just kind of give you the weekly recap. So next week, basically, it'll start over here. We'll see, not necessarily all of these, but we'll see this week's total profitability. And then we'll start with the remaining week, and then we'll just kind of do the running tally as we go. Again, really hoping to make this very visible for myself and use that as an opportunity to gain a little bit more clarity, not so much on what happens for the day, but what happens for the week. And then, of course, we'll do a big recap at the end of the month and see where we landed. So anyway, as always, I sure appreciate you guys tuning in and checking out what's going on with me and this whole Forged Trader thing. Yesterday was a little humbling. Today was actually very, very empowering, which is really funny when you look at the end numbers. But this is what it's all about. It's not about, it's not about putting up something that looks good today. It's about what's going to look good and put more money in profitability in my pocket long term, which is a mindset that I hope every trader starts to develop. I know it's hard. It really is hard to get, especially when you're relatively new, to get past some of that, but working on it day by day, and the fruits are starting to show. So anyway, appreciate y'all. Love y'all. God bless. Have a wonderful weekend, and I'll catch you guys back. Don't forget to check out the Trader Bacon Show on Monday, by the way, 11 a.m. Eastern on Benzinga. Also, don't forget to check out the Forge Trader podcast. Had a new episode drop yesterday, which I thought was pretty insightful in terms of just me gathering my thoughts. Again, I think that was a big part of me making better decisions today than I did yesterday. So I hope you guys will check that out. And you can check that out on any of my socials or also on iTunes and Spotify. Just look up the Forged Trader and you'll see me standing there with my chart behind me. And let me know what you guys think. I'll talk to you guys next week.